I go to a lot of games, and I watched Wexford, and you have to take your hat off to Wexford. They have worked very hard in bringing Wexford back to a really respectable level at football. A lot of people forget that Wexford won 4 All-Irelands in football, but they were out of it for a long time, probably for the better part of 40 years. But in the last 10, they brought it back. They're a serious football side now. They have a lot of good players. They built it up from a few good players. Dublin played them in the semi-final back 3 or 4 years ago. Dublin were lucky enough in that game. And Dublin will, I no doubt, the Peter Caffrey and the management team will treat them as if this is the last game of the year, and to give them full respect, because they deserve that. I've seen them against Laois. I saw them on TV against Meath. In any year, if Dublin were going into a Leinster final having beaten Laois and Meath, we'd say, well, that was good preparation. Wexford have achieved that, so they're a formidable team, and Dublin have to give them very good respect, particularly when we haven't been playing well, let's be frank. Leinster semi-finals isn't the All-Ireland. The important thing was to get through. They were lucky to get through. It was close. It could have went either way. In fairness to Westmeath, they put it up to them. If Westmeath had won by 3 points, I think most people would have said, well, they probably deserved it. But I don't think it'll be easy. I mean, Westmeath put it right up to Dublin. We're lucky to get out of the place and not be in the backdoor draw. And if we played like that against Wexford, I think we'd be in trouble. My father and my mother, for that matter too, but they used to bring us to Croke Park as children. But I remember the dub side from the late 50s, certainly from the down era, 60, 61. And I was when Heffo and Snitchy and Des and Larfoley, John Timmins, all those guys. So I would have linked in as being a supporter as those guys were still playing in 1959, 60, 61, and signed up for life. Still following them. And my father used to go to Dublin club matches. He went to a huge amount of club matches whenever he had time off. So I mean, my earliest memories, I think, were probably before he started bringing me down to Sunday games and coming to the Friday night club matches, where he used to get massive crowds you get 35,000 in Dublin club matches. Probably they were semi-finals, quarter-finals in summertime. And I remember those Friday night games coming down, probably being allowed to stay up on a Friday night, and then remember coming in to go into National League matches and in both hurling and football. In the early 60s, Dublin had been in the 61 All-Ireland, beaten by Tip, and then the Dublin 63 team. So, kind of from 59 to 60, I would have been. And in those days, it was almost a match in Croke Park every Sunday, because the National League matches, not like now where there's very few matches during the winter time. There was always a match on a Sunday. And I'd say most Sundays of my life, in those early years, I would have been here either for a hurling match or a football match.